good night, everyone. Welcome to another Sports Frenzy podcast. Once again, from see the face, man, I know that it's Levan, and I have with me Devin, and I also have Kims. And we're here to talk about some Jamaican football. Before we talk about Jamaica football, we have a topic to get off hand quickly. So, Kims raised it to me. I never actually saw it. So, I then went and checked it, and I heard Elaine making some noise, and I can play the little snippet for you guys. I'm going to wait until a few more people tune in to actually play the snippet. But um, Kims, what do you make of it? And as a matter of fact, I'm going to just go ahead and play it right now. So here's it.
My circle is very small. My team is not really fully developed, but I'm working on that. I think what I've wanted for myself and based on the path that I'm heading, MVP could not provide that anymore for me. And I think doing it on my own, it would be more better for me.
Okay, very well. Well, I mean, in terms of your growth and development, what because I of
I've outgrown the environment pretty much. What I want for myself and to better myself, that was not provided. So I have to find ways to get it.
All right, so Kims, we have heard it. And do you think that it was a disrespect to MVP, or what's your overall opinion on the topic itself?
All right. Yeah, man, and big up on yourself. Big up everybody in the comment section. Big up everybody who just tuning in, right? And before me even start talk about this, what can I say? What a wonderful interview by Miss Kitty. Like, when I talk about women who are credentialed, when I talk about women are, who are intelligent, women who just is just excellence. Hearing Miss Kitty talk, hearing Miss Kitty just ask those questions and get into it. People talk about this, Dean Jackson Miller, this Miss Kitty get into it, right? Just get into it. And I just love the interview. Get that out of the way. Next thing. So before I even get into it, let me see. I am one of Elaine's biggest supporters. I love Elaine. To me, she is the goat, of women sprinting. She has raised the bar for sprinting. I've defended Elaine many, many times on this platform, on Facebook, and various outlets, right? But, but, this is a time. This is a time I really can't defend her. This is a time I can't defend her at all. So let us break it down, right? So the first thing she said is that um, in order to better herself, she feel like she have to leave MVP because to better herself she have to leave MVP. Okay. Um, MVP made Elaine, right? MVP made Elaine what she is. Took her from what she was. A lot of persons didn't know where Elaine come from, but MVP took her, groom her, and so. Okay, so I'm not saying Elaine doesn't have the right to leave, but and I like using relationship analogies, but it's like you talk to a girl and the girl take you out to a spot, and then now you realize, okay, well, the girl can't make me go no more, and you gotta stop talk to the girl. But instead of just stop talk to her and leave amicably, you have to throw some shade off of the this girl can't cook or rice bun up. You have to throw some shit, and I didn't like that. I never liked that at all. And it make her come off extremely ungrateful. And I must say, even though Shelly is not my favorite, Shelly just exudes so much more class than Elaine. When Shelly left MVP, you don't hear none of them something, yeah? And that there was stuff that Shelly could have said. But sometimes, and Elaine is come to me like she doesn't have any self-awareness. Elaine don't know, all right, well, certain things we can say, certain things we can't say. Shelly has taken the high road so many times for MVP. And that is why, you know, PR wise, Shelly will always be up here on Elaine because Elaine is she's just not ready, right? And as my sprinter, it really, really, really hurt my heart. The next thing she said is that she has outgrown the environment. All right. What I can tell you about MVP environment is that it's extremely toxic, right? So I can understand if she says, all right, boy, the toxicity, we can't take the toxic things, so, I have to move on from the environment, right? But what Elaine failed to mention in that interview is that she add to the toxicity in MVP. She was one of the biggest fire flames in it at MVP, but she not gonna mention that. And these are the issues I'm gonna have with it. Like you can't come forward and make MVP look like a piece of trash, but then you make yourself look like, well, man, I was going through so much at MVP, man. I couldn't wait to leave MVP because they were, they had so much stuff going on and I just had to get out. When she was one of the biggest, what you call it, aisle. She was one of the biggest aisle, in the fire at MVP. So, and then the last thing she made she made an analogy. She made an analogy and she said, "Oh, when you're a child and your mother and your parents give you everything, but then when you grow up now and you realize that you can understand some things yourself, then you go your different separate ways." And I'm saying, Ilian, come on now, like the more you talk, the more foolish you sound. The more you just sound like you don't have no sense, like you're absolutely dunce, right? Because okay, if first of all it was a terrible analogy, but let me take the analogy for what it is. If if you're a child, right, and your mother give you stuff, when you're ready to leave your mother house, you're not gonna say, "Boy, mommy, my glad for come out here, sir. The room here full of mosquito. The room here not have the AC." You're not gonna say them things. You just have to say, "Well, mommy, thank you very much, and me just need to go up on my own because me a big man now, whatever the case may be." So the analogy was terrible. So MVP has done so MVP has done more for Elaine than they have done for any other athlete because of where she was coming from. So the Sherika Jackson, no, MVP has done more for Elaine. And may I tell you, Fernando is a man on a show emotions, but may I tell you, say, like, that one that hurt him. I can tell you straight up, that one that hurt Fernando the most because the man from 2014, in my work with Elaine and stuff, and the man take Elaine from nothing, to obviously where she is now. And right now she has to say, okay, if Elaine had come forward and say, well, MVP, where finances is concerned, MVP getting a certain percentage, and as a family, we just want to keep everything in the family. I could accept that because when it comes on to finances and money, you can't argue with somebody who want to keep all of the money in them family. If she had even come out and say, well, I really thank MVP, but I just believe, I don't get a lot of time to spend with my husband. So, I just want my husband to oversee my training right now. Even that would I accept. But for she come out and a trash MVP or throwing shade at MVP while making her point, I never really like that. And she come off extremely ungrateful, extremely unaware, and she just doesn't understand the temperature in the room. She doesn't understand the temperature what's going on right now. And right, it put a bad taste in the mouth. It put a bad taste in the mouth. And I now I can see. I was blinded before, but now I can see why Jamaican people don't gravitate to her. Because of these things. First, remember, she come out and she lied to the Jamaican people. First of all, oh, don't believe those rumors. I even read that I was dead one time. And look at me here, right? Remember she said that. Another stupid analogy. But then now she doubled down right now. Now is the time when you could have come out and say, well, people, I say I wasn't leaving MVP, but I just didn't want it. I didn't want the distraction. Off season, all of that. Husband to Ilian, I think your fake wife disrespectful with MVP. Yes, most definitely, Michelle. She's definitely out of pocket, very disrespectful, and come out very ungrateful. And if it's one thing I know about ungrateful people, they always for them time always come. For them time always come. And it pain my heart to really say that because is a athlete who may support from 19 all long and take a lot of licks for her. But today I really can't defend her at all.
All right, Kims, I don't know what I can add to that because you have basically
Right,
covered
right.
everything that I was
Y-
probably going to say. But one thing though is that you remember the other day when people were calling for Tapper to do more interviews, and the moment Tapper came out and he did an interview, people start bashing him, said that what he said was foolishness and all of that. So it's basically the same scenario with Elaine. Elaine wasn't doing any interview,
Yeah.
and people were saying, "Hey, we need to hear more for her." But it seems like it was better she shut her mouth because boy, it's not looking good for her. But
Yeah.
Devin, you can go ahead and chime in.
No, you see the thing. I remember when during the Olympics when we used to talk about front on the environment. What I could see, like I mean, when I used to be at UTech and the way a friend I used to talk to them, I said, "Wait, what am I growing people? I make friend I talk to them. So this big belly man, I talk to these people where can run on this man, that's how good he is. But the way he would say, Asaf, Safa, you don't have sense, you know? So when I can see she said something about I've outgrown the environment, I would say, all right, probably that's the toxic environment. I don't have inside information as to as Kims would say, oh, even though the environment was toxic, she's contributing to it. I don't know about that part, but what I can say, I know sometimes after a certain times, even though the guy is good or whatever, they may not like that way. So if she had just stopped right there, I could understand. But when you're gonna say now what I want for myself and to better for myself was not provided, what I want for myself and based on the path that I'm heading, MVP could not provide that anymore. Nah, no, no, that's like pushing it too far. And it's just ungrateful. It just remind me, like Kems, you like to use his relationship analogy, and trust me, I like those analogies. And if I could draw one such parallel analogy, is like when some man take up some woman and send them go to school, send them go to university, send them go to college. When they go to college, start with a certain friend, and the man probably not into a certain, like, what you call it, degrees or certain jobs, but they are rolling with certain type of people out. Then forget that man to school him and just left the man. Some man, I've seen situation, I know two situations of man commit suicide because of them things. So it's like now they build them certain way, but then after a certain while now, she just move on and just disrespect them like that. You can move on. Because after a certain time, you can move on, and like you could use the story, I want my husband to be more in charge of this now or whatever. But no, like, you're disrespecting, man. You come off as being ungrateful, man. Oh gosh, man. Mm-mm.
You
That
know, I'm Devin. Devin and Levon both are supposed to hear this before. My mother always tell me, you see, when you're a fool, you're always the last one to know. You're always the
mm-hmm.
last person. And Alien, she had the last person to know. So what she do is absolutely garbage. Like, like Levon, sometimes when you don't have no sense, the less you say, you make people speculate. Well, boy, she probably smart, boy. She probably have a lot. But you see, when you open your mouth now and make people know, say, boy, you really and truly not have no sense, then it kind of, and again, Elaine will probably, because, okay, she's been with Frano from 2014 to 2021. She know every single training what Frano do. So whatever training what Frano do, she can take it and give it to her husband and can continue the same training and still be successful, right? Nothing wrong with that. Or her husband can implement some other things and then she can still go further. She can go break the world record, whatever it is. But I just believe that, this is going to, this just going to always put a stain. And I know how Jamaicans stay. When you win, people forget a lot of stuff. If you broke the world record tomorrow, people will forget about all of this. Some people who are not track fanatics, will forget about it and say, well, yeah, she broke the world record. She's supposed to left Fran a long time. Our Fran couldn't make her get the record. But understand the grassroots. People understand the grassroots, and she not just get up yesterday and broke the record. You understand what I say? And boy, we really and truly never expect this from Elaine. As I say, Shelly and a lot of athletes, they've took the higher road. Because I tell you, Shelly could have come and Shelly could have do Frano the worst way. She could have do MVP the worst way. Because as I say, MVP, as great as it is, it have a lot of cracks. It have a lot of cracks in the ground, right? As everywhere, as with everybody. Like, nobody not perfect, but Frano is perfectly imperfect. Like, if Frano tell us, okay, we'll do it that way, best believe say you're gonna get the results where you're destined to
Do it that way, right?
You get what I say? So it's just really unfortunate. I wish her the best. And then another thing she's saying, oh, MVP couldn't get the best out of her, or MVP couldn't bring her to that level. Trust me, if someone had took up Elaine from 2014 to now, Elaine would not be able to run 10.5 right now. I'm not asking a question. Like, MVP is the best in the business. Frano is the best in the business. So Bert Cameron and all them people there, like
That me want to ask you, Kems. I know she like Cameron Blazer, Bert Cameron. Like, what since them set up, right? Because I'm training Michael. And they have any great success to talk about?
Well, if you have asked a question, then guess what?
Then I've done.
Like, if you have asked a question, then I guess it not happen. You understand what I say? Like, it not happen. So again, she says she's training up by Michael right now. Again,
Mhm.
another thing, facilities like MVP, top of the line facilities. Right, those top of the line facilities, everything top of the line. And surprisingly, she said that she's still with Nike. So I guess that's a plus. She never got to Puma. She said Nike is still our sponsor. I don't know how the Puma thing is going to work, and so, but it really like Shelly win without even saying no. Like that is so crazy. She like Shelly like the Shelly and the alien debate about who is quote unquote the better person. As much as I come and I beat Shelly like a drum, like without saying anything, alien makes Shelly look good right now today. Now I'm not more of a step on this topic here, man, because right now I'm really upset. So let's just start both. So maybe get a laugh and stuck out for them reggae boys here, man.
So, Kims, you're in a boisterous mood. I can see it, mate. I can see that you're visibly upset. But on a brighter note, we're just going to skip over from track and field and look forward to some football. And we're now joined by Demon. Demon, before we start with the football, people
Not
them
right,
keep on
not
asking, I
right.
say, Demon, you get the prediction wrong and all of that. So I see they keep asking, where's Demon?
Yeah,
But Demon is
yeah.
here, man.
Good night, everybody. It's not cricket talk tonight, so we're not getting
No, 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 no. You're not the
Demo,
host. You
reggae
don't
boys.
determine what talk is tonight. Host, ask him the question, host.
what?
No,
Anyway,
You're
man,
the
let the man speak.
let's get into the reggae boys talk, please. Thanks.
So reggae boys talk is a brighter
All
note
right, so
than track and field, Levon. Wow.
based on the Reggae Boys' last result, of course, it's better than what Elaine did today. So there you have it. But we look forward to this game against El Salvador, and we see that Jamaica has called up quite a few English-based players. Leon Bale's in the squad. But correct me if I'm wrong, Demo. Is didn't Andre Gray and someone else pulled out of it because of injury?
Yeah, Andre Gray and Dylan Barnes, the other goalkeeper, isn't there because of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why Javian Brown come in and they call Dwayne Miller from left field. I don't know Dwayne Miller get back into this team, but that's a goalkeeper they call back.
That was just crazy, man. But
I mean,
we look at the game. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was saying the fact that Javian Brown was left out of the squad in the first place was a shock. So I'm glad that he got his call back because he did well when he came on as a substitute, and I think he's actually they might go on use Alvas. We'll get there. We'll get there.
All right. With that, what you just mentioned, I'm going to just start right there. So I believe the reason they probably left him out is because they have Alva Spoil to use on that right hand side and also Oniel Fisher. Now they have also brought in Gregley as well. So with him now in the squad, they're probably saying, "Here we have two left back, two right back, so we don't really see the need for a third right back in the squad." But first up, what do you think of our chances against this El Salvadoran team?
Me or yeah, somebody else. Me
Actually,
or well, listen, El Salvador, they are right down there with us at the bottom of the table, and they have just scored what 2 goals all competition so far. So I don't see them as a threat. I know that they beat Panama at home. They beat Panama 1-0. And remember, Panama gave us 3-0 when we did have the foreign boys and stuff. But I don't see anything like that happening again. I think Jamaica has massive advantage with the fans of El Salvador not being able to come behind the goals because they got banned from doing that from their last game. So that's a massive advantage for us because the atmosphere over there behind the crowd, them show things and all of that kind of stuff. So that can be intimidating. But I see us flogging El Salvador in this game. We'll get to predictions and all of that, but our chances are very, very strong, especially with the crew that Tapa has called up for this selection. I see us winning this game comfortably.
wow, the man said flagging. Welcome to the podcast, Ryan.
Yeah,
What do you think of our chances against this Ecuadorian team? Because I mean, as I put in the caption for this one, this November window will be very vital as to how Jamaica look going forward. So, what say you?
All right.
I fancy our chances against El Salvador. I'm not going to be as confident as Dima and Steph Plugin, but I fancy our chances. That game against Mexico, I specifically watched that game because I wanted to see El Salvador pattern of play at home. They played pretty decent against Mexico. They ended up losing 2-1 a last minute second goal penalty. So they were in the game up till injury time. So they they play decent football, but they are not scoring the chances. So I am predicting us to win 2-1. And I like the fact that the English players are happy to be back in the fold. I heard more talking. I heard Antonio and Leon Bailey and those guys, they're happy to be back. And Bailey said he is in high spirits to play his first World Cup qualifier. So I hope to see Aston Villa Bailey, not the Aston Villa of the last two games, but the sub Aston Villa Bailey. That is the Bailey I want to see. So, and I hope to see Antonio that is playing, the Antonio that run on Van Dijk and the Antonio that has been scoring the goals and those things. That is the Antonio I want to see out there playing for us. So I hope to see us putting away at least two goals. If we get more than that, I am happy regardless. I just need two goals minimum because I think two goals can win us the game. And yeah, so I expect us to win. Hopefully we can win better than I am predicting, but I hope to. I just needed 3 points from that game. That is the game I am targeting to get for us to get 3 points. So hopefully we get that.
Okay, before I move on to Kems and Devin, you know what,
Yeah.
I was just looking and it actually surprised me that Michael Hector is actually 29 years old. I thought he was younger, to be honest, but I couldn't believe when I saw that Hector is actually 29. Time has flown by, man. But Devin,
I-
what you say about this one?
All right. See, I'm looking for the win, but you see what I was reading the Observer online today, and one of the things I saw with Leon Bailey was throwing his support for Tapper, and that is one of the best thing I see so far. I know Ryan was saying he's in high spirit and he's happy to be back, but he was throwing his. I don't know. I don't have any inside information on none of these guys, so I have to take it as I see. I have to take it as I see. He's saying he's our coach. That was one of the quotes. He said he's our coach and he's a great guy. And I can't remember reading anything where he said he's a great coach. He just said he's our coach and he's a great guy and he wants to throw his support behind the coach. And when you have one of the star players in the team, throwing support for the coach when the least of all things, they're gonna blame Tapper. Even when someone missing some open chances, just like with any other team, people blame the coach. I love the fact that the star player is throwing the support. And I don't know, there was a podcast before we were saying Tapper only talks to the local, whatever. But that will be a good sign to blend in if there's any rift, so to speak. I think Manning's one was on and they were saying something about Paul will talk to the overseas and Tapper talks to the local players. I don't know what true that is. I don't know what true that is. But, and Antonio is back. He only had one game where he didn't look all that good for Jamaica, but we always use this common talk about, or this common terminology, so to speak, about it's a small sample size, which is actually a small sample size with one game. So hopefully he can come good. Definitely we're gonna win this game. And somebody was saying about with these guys, even when you're in the hotel in the night, they make noise and they try to do all these things to prevent you from sleeping. But we're gonna prevail. We're gonna win this game.
Okay, Kems, what say you?
Um, well, I would love if Jamaica could win this game. I'm not going to come here until they say they will win. I don't know. But I would definitely love if they win this game. I hear Ryan saying, he want to see that Antonio. But do we have anybody? Do we have anybody of quality like in the Western midfield? Do we have anybody who can
Yes, Lord Ravel Morrison.
Yeah, all right, okay. But Yeah. So basically, Ravel could play for West Ham right now.
He used to play for them, but not right now.
No, but him say no. Demo say, "Ma ask if there's anybody like West Ham right now," and him say Lord Ravel Morrison. So may I ask if Ravel could have played for West Ham right now.
I'm saying yes, the quality that he can play the passes that Antonio gets for West Ham. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. Thank you for explaining. But I want it all depends. Jamaica kind of come like Manchester United. It depends on the side what the coach really put out there. Leon Bailey is in high spirits, but those last two games that I see for him, in Aston Villa, as a fan, I'm not in high spirits at all. I would love if him. I know he's probably going to start, but I would love if probably I can just make him come off of the bench. So like a muscle memory thing. Well, all right then. But come off of the bench Aston Villa, come on, and run on the tired players them. Some things say something like that. Like a muscle memory, make him come off of the bench. I like when players just coming in and they watch the game. They watch the game and say, well, let me see how I can insert myself and be instrumental in especially a team like El Salvador. It's not a USA or none team. So I think the game will definitely slow down. So hopefully Tapa have the strength for say, Leon, we'll bring you on around the 68th minute. Make a watch how the game I go. Make a work with the players that we have been working with, during the time when you were out. And then, hopefully, we can pull out the results.
But one thing, Kim, to add on to your point, I think somebody tagged me on a video where Leon's father was suggesting the same thing that you were saying on YouTube. It was a long thing. I think Craig Butler's YouTube channel. He was
Oh,
suggesting
real?
the same thing for him to for him not to start, for him to come on.
That's strange. That's strange coming from Craig.
Yeah. But hold on, before we get to the starting lineup and stuff, I just want to say this because I don't know. Kim say him not sure and him can't say because nobody knows and stuff. All I am saying is Jamaica, we're buoyed by 2 clean sheets. We played 2 games, 1 Canada clean sheet, and our last game was a clean sheet. And I think that's positive for us because I think Tapa sets out his teams not to concede goals. But we have been conceding so many goals. I think we have conceded 8 goals already in this World Cup campaign, and that's so unlike Tapa. So to stop the bleeding against Canada and the last game that we played and get the clean sheets, I think that's an awesome job. And like I said, El Salvador has been conceding goals as well. They've conceded 7 themselves, and they're not scoring because they only score 2 goals. So I think the fans for them is a huge boost. And even though we're going over there to play, I think that we'll just have a lot more quality to beat this team. So let me go 3-0 when predictions come around. But wait till we get to the starting line up at top.
So Demo, quick question, right? Quick question, because I know you watch the games and you're in tune with the team and so. Do you think that the reason why Jamaica haven't conceded in their last 2 games, do you think it was due to great defending? Or do you think it was just due to poor attacking of the other team?
I think Canada, they were wasteful. Canada missed a lot of chances. It wasn't great defending. Our last game, I thought we dominated our last game. I thought we were the dominant force.
All right, but what the name of the team who played last game? I not even remember the name.
Honduras,
yeah. All right. My thing is, right, I don't remember what the forward name for Honduras, the Rasta guy.
Elise.
Yes. He was skillful because I see him would have killed Taxi and I just believe that Damian Lowe, you can tell me say he's Jamaica's best defender, right? But him kind of give me a Maguire thing where you just write him down for 3 mistakes. When Damian Lowe, okay, him probably gonna make 2 mistakes and 1 boned play.
Kems, hold on. When you say Jamaica's best defender, I mean the Jamaican born best defender? Because surely not with Liam Moore and them.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Like the Jamaican born, right? So, but say if you look, Lowe gonna start to most Lowe gonna start, right? So when I look
Pinnock
on Lowe,
Pinnock is here, right?
No, Pinnock isn't there.
No.
Him pull out?
So,
he wasn't called.
Oh, he wasn't.
So when we look, he probably made himself unavailable. Who knows,
Unavailable,
right?
that's correct, yeah.
But when we look on Tulips, Damian Lowe, right? When you look on him, right? You just pens him down for 3 mistakes. Two mistakes, one boned play. And you have to cross your fingers, say, boy, no team, no score with them. There. Because, again, you can go through all of the games. Every single he hasn't played a clean game yet. So I'm praying, crossing my fingers that the game against El Salvador, that does be his clean game and we can just because I just think that he's too mistake prone.
And he has a tendency of getting cards. He has gone 3 so far, and is 1 card away from a second suspension.
Because he overcompensates a lot. So when he make the
All
mistake,
right, so hold
no.
on a second.
Yeah.
Quick question. Finish up, Kims. Finish up, Kims.
No. So I was just saying he overcompensates. So when he make the mistake, no, he must do the most rash challenge in order to win back the ball or prevent the team from scoring, which sometimes result in a yellow card or as them say, should there be a penalty the other day or whatever the case may be.
It's very Eric Bailly like.
Yeah.
But what I was going to ask, right? Based on the team that has been named. So I'm just going to run through the team and ask a question. So the team that has been called up is Andre Blake, as Dylan Barnes was called up, but he has pulled out because of injury. So Old Man Miller is back in the fold. We have Jaden White, Kemar Lawrence, Alpha Spoil, Adrian Mariappa, Damian Lowe, O'Neill Fisher, Liam Moore, Greg Lee, Anthony Grant, Ravel Morrison, Devon Williams, Javon Watson. Yes, you got that right. Javon Watson. Lamar Walker, Bobby Reed, Junior Flemings, Corey Burke, Javan East. I don't know what this man has for Jamaica, but boy, it seems like every time a squad is being named, Javan East has to be there. Shamar Nicholson. Andre Gray was also called up, but has pulled up because of injury, has been replaced by Javian Brown. Then you have Mikel Antonio, Kemaroof, and Leon Daly. So my question now is
No, Daniel
based
Johnson,
on
right?
what no,
Okay.
based on what Kim's just asked, right? Could it be a case that Tapa is probably thinking that, hey, hear what? I've experimented with a back three in a couple of the games. It doesn't necessarily start with them, but he has experienced it somewhat, right? So since he has done that, and we have seen Tax Lawrence play that as left centre back and even as a centre back for his club team, could it be a case that he's probably contemplating playing Lawrence as one of those centre back, then have Moore and Mariappa as the back three, then use Greg Lay on the left hand side? Because you have seen that Lowe has been error prone for the last couple of games, and as Ryan pointed out, he's 1 card away from another suspension. So could that be something that is playing in the mind of Tapa? Just asking.
Probably.
No,
Yeah,
no,
probably.
boss. No, boss. Tapa is definitely not going to leave out Low to this team. Him not leave him out. So it's going to be Low right in the center this so, and Maria on one side, hopefully the right hand side of defense, and Liam Moore on the left hand side of him. Two
Oh,
experienced man.
you're asking if Low will be left out of.
Yeah, he must say play taxi
Low
as.
will not be left out.
Yeah, that's what he
But
was asking
but
because he must say
but
taxi I go play.
Low won't be left out, but he can. I think he might experiment with about Low in it.
Okay. But we're going to go ahead and try to name the team that we possibly think that Tapa will set out with. So first up, the goalkeeper has already started out. Andre Blake will start. We know that. In terms of system, what sort of system do you think he'll start? Do you think he'll go for the back or three at the back? Devin.
I think he's going for.
Devin.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Devin.
thinking about Lawrence. Because I'm write down something. So Lawrence, Mariappa, Moore, and I Fisher. Hopefully in the middle him don't use Watson, so I'm say him go with Grant and Speedy, Ravel Morrison. How much that we gone? Right? I don't think Liam Bailey will start. Roof, Antonio, and Reed.
How much man that, brother?
Yeah, man.
And
So let's go again.
The right that one.
All right, man. I'm go again. Right. So Blake, not a goal, obviously, right? Fisher, Moore, Mariapa, Lawrence. That's 5 runners, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Grant and Speedy, 5 and 2, 7. Morrison, 8. Roof, 9. Antonio, 10. And Reed, 11. I'm going to bring on Boyz and Leon Bailey as the element of surprise. But that's
Okay.
what I would want to see.
All right. Dimo, what would your team be, and what sort of formation would you probably set out with, or what you think Tapa will set out with?
Yeah, so first of all, I would use the same thing that we did that got us a victory over Honduras. I mean, I know it was fluent and they changed from time to time, but I'd go 3 at the back again. Obviously Andre Blake in goal. I'm going to go, like I just said, low in the middle of the defense and Murray up on the right side of him, and low Liam Moore on the left side of him. I'm using Taxi as a left wing back, and I know Tapa going to use Alvas Powell, but he's just coming back from injury. He's not all that great, and I would hope that they don't use Alvas. So with Fisher being buoyed by scoring a goal in the last game, I'm going to play him as that attacking right wing back there.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I'm going to go Speedy and Grant. You can't left them out. And the great Lord Ravel Morrison ahead of them in the midfield to feed Antonio and Kemaru. So I'm not playing Leon Bailey either from the start. I'm not playing Nicholson from the start. I'm going Antonio and Roof. Roof is a goal scorer, a poacher in the box. He gets goals. And we know what Antonio does. He's not only physical, he doesn't only just bully defenders, but he's very smart and witty, and he knows how to run the lines, and he'll fight for everything. And once he's there, I think he'll link up well with Kemaru. So for me, Leon Bailey is just not on any form right now, especially after those couple games to Aston Villa. And remember that he's also just coming back from injury as well. So I know people are going to cuss and say, oh, if you lift out Leon Bailey, da. For me, he doesn't start. That's it.
Man, they look good for Jamaica, brother, so nobody can come cuss you.
No, listen, I did a Jamaica preview on the next channel yesterday before I came on, you know, and the man them would have killed me, boss. So I'm going to say no Leon Bailey, so you know it go.
All right, that's me. Devin already left him out. I don't know what Ryan. Well, I'm going to go with Ryan to hear what Ryan will do. So Ryan, what is your team?
All right, Blake in the goal. Fisher right back. Low and Moore centre back. Left back. Taxi. Left back Taxi. Grant and Speedy in the pivot. I'm basically just throwing out a 4-2-3-1 for argument's sake.
Yeah, I'm realized.
Ravel in the number 10 position. And I'm going to start Bailey from the right and Roof on the left, Antonio up front.
Interesting. As to me, Bailey not starting either. Bailey's going to rub the bench and come off the bench. Number one, as Dima pointed out, he's just coming off an injury, hasn't looked good in his last 2 games, so I'm not going to get him in from the get-go. I'm going to bring him on because, as you guys pointed out, it's not a case as if El Salvador has looked that brilliant, so here what? Have those guys wear them done from the get-go, and around the 78th minute thereabouts, you bring on a freshly and be able to run at them. That would be the perfect scenario. And if you look at it now, Nicholson hasn't been the best for Jamaica, but he also gets goals for them. But wouldn't you probably think that Nicholson playing together with Antonio would probably provide a fruitful partnership for a player like Kemaru, a player like that who would tend to run on late to players and all of that, and even a Bobby Reed? Because, I mean, these are guys who are currently in farm, you know. They are in farm right now. So, would it be a bad thing to actually start both of them together? And I'm going to start with Dima on this one again. What you say?
As it when you say Bobby Reed and farm, what kind of farm you mean? Like
the man has been assisting goals for Fulham. Come on, man.
No, me think a goal scoring farm you mean because he's not scoring about a month.
No, man,
um,
he has been assisting, man.
yeah, I guess. For me, because I'm playing the three at the back system, listen, I would have used him as a wing back in terms of when we play Fisher, but I just think that Fisher, after getting that goal, I think he deserves to start and stuff. But I take your point about Bowser starting up top, with Roof especially, because I think they were the two who combined for Roof goal. But I mean, he was taking a shot, yeah. But we know. And Bowser gets goals. He really does get goals, but he misses a lot of chances. And we're just banking on Antonio coming in and translating the form from the Premier League for Jamaica. We're banking on that. And for me, Mega take the chance. I know he didn't look good against Panama, but you have to take that out. It's a one game, one off thing, and I think this is opposition is weaker, so I think that he should do well. So I'm going with Roof and Antonio. I know Bowser gets goals, but it's always great to have options off the bench, and I like so we can't bring him off if we really need him. You know what I mean?
Okay. And here's Travis Peso was saying that my 11: Blake, Maps, Low, Moore, Taxi, Grant, Speedy, Ravel, Roof, Bailey, Antonio. I'm going to stray a little bit away from the team for a minute and stick on Shamar Nicholson for a couple of seconds. So, do you guys think that he has outgrown the Belgian league and it's probably time for him to move on? Because it said that there's club in Bundesliga that is actually interested in him, and the two teams that has been mentioned is Offenheim and Mainz. So, do you guys think that he has outgrown the Belgian Jupiler League right now?
I think he should try see out this season. Yeah, sorry for jumping the gun. I think he should see out this season. And he's like what now? 12 goals, 9 goals in the league, 10 goals in the league, something like that. I think the last time I checked, he was 9 or something like that. But anyway, he should see out this season and try to get a 20-goal season. And then when he does that, he will have clout to move to somewhere better. Until he does that, I'm not going to sing his praises yet until he does at least try and get a 20-goal season or come as close to it as possible.
Okay.
So there's interest.
Devin, what say you? Because I mean, Offenheim is a decent team, you know, and Mainz is a decent team. What do you say?
Any team, even if it's the second division of the German league, right? Even if it's the second division, he can still go towards it. But I disagree with Ryan somewhat. If there's interest in him now on the January transfer window coming up, strike the iron while it's hot. Move right now if there's interest in him and he can move out of the contract and get a transfer for January. Try and go now. Don't suppose that 20-goal season never come through the end of the season. Then what? You know, the interest that is being sparked in now would have been reduced. So strike the iron while it's hot now, as people would say, and go. Yeah, as for him in the team, like I wouldn't start him. I think Antonio, I don't know if they're maybe jumping the gun by saying they're too similar for play. They're big type of player, all up the ball kind of player. You know, but I think, you know, you doesn't. So I would like to see like Reed, you know, like right behind Antonio as opposed to him and
Nicholson is not good at holding up the ball.
Yeah?
Nicholson is not good at holding up the ball.
Well, he's not good, but like, you know, like you know, that kind of
run onto the ball.
Right. So I don't like him to start with because once they have Antonio in the team, I'm starting Antonio. Even though, you know, he's there working and they will get he would have been there as a long time soldier getting the goals. I'm still using Antonio over him and then let him come off the bench. But I like the fact anybody will leave what you call it, low. Yeah man, good pick that.
All right, Bimo, what do you think about this situation?
Yeah, he definitely. I think Mainz are doing. You watch more Bundesliga than me, but I think Mainz are doing well actually in the Bundesliga this season. And if Mainz come right now, you have to go, boss. You can't wait, man.
What?
You can't. You have to go. And if you go there and flop, you flop. But then make them say anyway. You have to go and take the chance and grab it with both hands. our Nini from Liverpool comes to mind for us. I mean, he was doing well. We always send him out on loan and thing. And then it just seems like people there ball for him to get a chance in the first team because he's big and he's physical. And it might be a better option than Origi. And then the opportunity came for him to go into Germany. And I think he's lighting it up over there. You couldn't wait for Liverpool and try to make it through the first team and continue banging goals now. So he took the chance, he took the shot, and I think he's doing well over there. So, I think Boyz need to do that as well. And the experience will only bode well for Jamaica. He's still a young man. He'll get experience playing in Germany, and he'll come back good for Jamaica. So, yeah, go.
And then again, that could probably be opening avenues for other Jamaicans as well. I mean, yeah, Bailey went over there, but seeing another Jamaican in the league outside of Leon Bailey, that would even make it better for us, right?
Yeah.
And as I said, Nadimo, mine's the team that I play football. They play attacking football because I watch them week in, week out, because there's a particular youngster on the team that is a German player. His name is Jonathan Burkhardt. I watch him a lot. So I think the link-up play between those guys and Nicholson would just fit right in. And I'm glad that you draw for the parallel with your former Liverpool boy, Awolini, because since he has gone over to Union Berlin, it seems like you have seen a total different player. Reason being, they're playing week in, week out. So one thing that is guaranteed is game time on a regular basis. So it would be a good move for Nicholson, if you ask me. So
yeah, not just that, Levan, not just that. Because other CONCACAF players, like a lot of United States players, are go over there too, and strikers, because Matthew Hoppe went over
I
there.
realized this guy,
Sargent, and them people. So him can
this
take.
guy, I was watching something yesterday with USA and Mexico preview, and they have this guy named Scully or something like that, a right back. And when I Googled him, I realized that he's been at Borussia Mönchengladbach for like 2-3 years now. He's 18-year-old.
Yeah, man, Joe Scully. Good boy.
Yeah,
good player.
He should play. He should be the starting right back for the Mexico game. And that would be his debut. And I'm like, whoa, I never know of this guy. And they were making they were singing his praises that he has been very good. And he's starting now for Borussia Mönchengladbach also.
Hold on, man. Hold on there, Ryan. Devin, you remember that game that Gladbach was playing against Bayern earlier in the season when Gladbach were balling Mönchengladbach? Yeah, man. What I'm talking. The game that Mönchengladbach was balling Bayern Munich earlier in the season. That was one of the guys who basically ran Leroy Sané and all those guys right through the game. And I think, if memory serves me right, I think he set up a goal as well. So he's actually a good talent, and as Dino pointed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite a few of the US players in the Bundesliga.
So, yes, as Dimo was pointing out, a lot of these players, especially from teams like US and even some of the Mexicans, they're moving over to the Bundesliga because, again, they're guaranteed game time. So, I mean, if the move comes for Nicholson, why not? But in regards to
where mine is the table right
come
now?
on, Nicholson. All right, give me a second. Let me check it quickly and tell you. But in regards to
Nicholson,
the type of players between Nicholson and Antonio, they're two total different players, man. Nicholson can hold the ball to save him life, while Antonio is a player that can do that. But we actually look at things differently now. Is that all right? If we're going to play them, Dimo can probably do that. All right, so Ryan, they're currently in 7th place in the table. But Dimo, when I look at them, right, the same thing that Boza was doing with Roof in that last game, it could be said that Antonio, who is more intelligent than Boza, can do the same thing with Roof. So you're onto something there that, what? It's good to have options off the bench. So you could leave Boza on the bench for this game.
Yeah, but the thing is that, people are gonna always say, for Jamaica, he gets goals. He was the one who got the goal in Mexico. I think he's leading goal scorer for us now in qualify. He was scoring in the Gold Cup. But for me, he just missed too many chances and clear-cut chances at that. So he must score 1 goal in one game, and then the next game he missed 3 clear-cut opportunities. And then there was the time when him a bad up people for free kick and Leon Bailey up on the field and all of this nonsense. Like, bro, go sit down and relax your little self. You know what I mean? So for me, he scores, but right now we have more experience, and I mean probably not more experience playing in CONCACAF. Yeah, but the man is an experienced striker, and people need to remember, that this is Antonio's first playing international football for him country like this, a World Cup qualifier or whatever. So it's not like same experience playing in for our country in World Cup and stuff either. So yeah, them can't argue that. But for me, it's
But the thing
Antonio.
is, you can look at, yeah, I'm glad you bring up that point as well. But even that, you know that if you look at the Jamaica team, the team does have a lot of leaders because Moore, even though Moore is a newbie to international football, he is already captain. Antonio is a leader, has been playing Premier League for seasons in and out now. Lowe is basically a leader as well, even though him head go and come some of the time, but him is a leader. The captain, obviously. And yeah, so the team has a batch of leaders in it that Bobby Reid, the bench going to have a few persons who are leaders. So Bailey himself, even though he has only 10 caps for Jamaica, but he's an experienced player. So the team should use the core of the team as a good leadership base, and they should use that to galvanize themselves.
Fear.
Yeah. All right. So now, Dima, you look at the El Salvadorian team, right? And where think their weakness lies that Jamaica could possibly target in the game on Friday?
Yeah, so for me, I know you asked for weakness. I know that for one, they're letting in a lot of goals, yeah? And the thing is, they're a possession-based team. That's not a weakness, that's a strength. So they play possession football. They like to keep the ball and stuff. But if you press them, you will get chances, yeah? So I think that my formation using the three at the back thing, and the wing backs are going to press and stuff because they're going to try and pass out and all of this stuff. And I mean, it's not like they're crap at doing it because they actually can play football. But if we press well enough, I think that we will get our chances and create chances and score. And like I said, they've conceded 7 goals already. I mean, we have conceded 8. So we're right there. I think they concede a lot of goals and they're not really scoring goals right now. I know they played a friendly a couple of days ago. I forgot the team that they played against, but they only use the local based players from El Salvador to do that. And obviously the coach is saying that those aren't the same guys who are going to play against Jamaica. He might call for the overseas players and they might come in or whatever. But I think that their weakness is they concede a lot and they're not really scoring, but they do possess the ball well.
Where the overseas players play?
I have no idea, but no idea.
Okay.
All right. So the team that they played against was actually Bolivia in the friendly. Bolivia beat them 1-0 at their home.
Okay.
Yeah, but that no count for nothing because and of them players they go play against Jamaica, but yeah.
All right, so Ryan, you asked where the overseas players. So they have one particular player that plays for Toronto FC in MLS. They also have one that plays for Houston Dynamo. They have one plays for Seattle Sounders. They also have a guy who plays for FC Eindhoven in the second division down there in Netherlands. And I also see where they have a couple guys playing for Miami FC, Rio Grande Valley, Hartford Athletic in the Jamaican's favorite league.
So MLS and USL. USL. Okay.
There you have it.
So they don't have any English league players.
But,
or no German league player. Or even a Belgian league player. Okay. So we're supposed to can beat them.
All right, Shakes. Welcome to the podcast, boss man. Seems like Shake is probably sleeping.
No man, I'm here.
All right, Shake is not ready, but as I said, this will only make things better for Jamaica going forward. I keep on making that point. I keep on lamenting because you're playing against a team that you're 10 points points with is not a case as if they're superior to you. So this could put you in a good state to go forward because, I mean, if they get 3 points from this game and then they come home now to face USA, knowing that they will have 5,000 fans in the stadium to back them, that would probably just push them to a next level. So, Ryan, you really think that they can beat this El Salvadoran team? Remove
That's why I start.
all Jamaican bias towards it. Remove all of that. So we're
No, man, I
speaking
started off by
analytically now
saying that.
and looking at it logically.
I started off by saying that this is a game we have to win because based on where we are in the table and where they are, we need to create separation. We need to keep them there. We need to move into mid-table, and by doing that, we have to make now because it's the middle of the qualification process. So we have to get that 3 points out there because we have to start targeting games and the points. And obviously, this is one of them that we have to win. So we have to get that 3 points, nothing less. And then at home, I want minimum 4 points from this window. I love 6, but I am saying let's target 4 minimum. So you start targeting by getting the best case scenario first. You know, and go draw there, so and then come home to USA and say, oh, we have to beat USA. No, you try and get the 3 points in the bag first, and then you use that momentum into the US game. Because if it is the reverse, then you might end up with 0.
Ryan, as you're saying, Ryan, as you're saying, right, you just get the 3 points from El Salvador, and anything you get from USA game would be seen as a bonus. So I agree with you on that one.
I won't even say that. I said get the 3 points there and then get at least a point against USA. Anything else is a failure.
Yeah, it
need 4. We need 4. Based on where the table, what the table is saying, we need at least 4 points. We have to get in mid-table.
Yeah, that's true. But Shakes, when I look at this Jamaican team, I know that you're a man that tend to mark hard, because it comes down to whatever sport you don't tend to give ratings much. So do you really believe that Jamaica can get the victory over El Salvador? I think that Jamaican fans are probably far-fetching and this team will be brought back down to earth.
So I'm going to go out on a limb right now. Jamaica will get 6 points.
Whoa.
For those 2 games. We are going to beat El Salvador 3-1, and we are going to beat the United States 2-1. Yeah. Listen, you see the victory that we got against Honduras and the draw that we got against Canada. You see that don't actually put confidence and actually motivate these players to realize that, oh, hey, guess what? This can actually work. And I'm talking about the overseas-based players now, right? If they don't realize that, okay, this is actually a decent squad. Because when you really think about it, if you look at the other teams in the region, we're right there. We're right there. We got a very good result against Mexico, right? We got a very good result against Mexico. All right. If you take away the dismal performance at home versus Panama, right? And that is it sometimes that happens when you get too many quote unquote names, as in big name players, and all of a sudden you don't know what to do. So you just put out some people, right? So take that out of the equation. But the result against Canada was very good. The result against Honduras was pretty good, especially seeing that it was away from home. So I believe that we have the team. Listen, USA can afford to lose to Jamaica and still qualify top 2, right? They can lose to Jamaica and still qualify top 2. So Jamaica needs to take advantage. You're talking about this game now. You want my starting 11? I can run through my starting 11.
But before you do that, Shakes, before you get starting 11, let me just say this because you're gonna get starting 11 and stuff. I just realized that how crucial this first game is because Costa Rica, who is right above us, They're going to play against Canada, and we expect Canada to beat them. So if we have to win this game against El Salvador, it is crucial, and they would have jumped over Costa Rica and would have right up in there.
We are right. Listen, we are right there, and not only that, Demo. I don't even necessarily want Canada to beat Costa Rica. I want Canada to draw with Costa Rica.
Well,
yes.
So we need to catch up back some teams now.
Yes, we need to. Thank you. Right. So for me, I would love if Costa Rica comes out and plays a decent game against the Canadian team and get a draw, so that we end up back in the real mix. Because when you end up back in the real mix in 11, you see, going into that USA game, that is when they're going to be like, oh, but hold on, but if we actually beat this American team, we are right there. Because even for the next game that Costa Rica and Canada plays, they can also draw. They can lose a game too, right?
Shit, as it stands, I just want everybody draw and we win.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yes. That is what needs to happen, right? And
Gear start in 11. Gear start in 11.
So Blake, Mariappa, Moore, Lowe, Lawrence, Fisher, Grant, Williams.
Wait, why your formation? Why your formation?
That's a back five, back three.
Yeah, basically it's basically a wing back on both sides. Grant, Williams. Unfortunately, I heard you say Lord Morrison. Oh Lord, I don't know why you did that. But I believe Tapa is going to actually give him a game. For me, it was like a toss-up between Morrison and probably Corey Burke. To start, because Burke normally plays well. And then Roof. Roof has been, his decision making is not necessarily the best for Jamaica, but he works hard for the team. And for me, if you're playing away from home, you need somebody that works hard at the top of the pitch. And if you realize,
what is the front? Front two?
Front two. Oh, I never reached to Antonio yet, but Antonio would be the last person. Yeah, but I was just talking about Roof, because for me, he is the more important of the two, Antonio versus Roof, because I don't see Antonio necessarily hounding the players and harrying the players like Roof has been doing, right? Sometimes that has to do with commitment too, in terms of to the cause. And for me, Roof is or has shown to be more committed to the cause thus far. It can change throughout the campaign. So that is why I was highlighting that when it comes down to Kemar Roof. And then hopefully Antonio can score a goal. I agreed with Kems about Leon Bailey coming off the bench. Leon Bailey has been awful this season. Yes, he scored a beautiful goal earlier in the season, right? No, we don't want no Javon Watson in the team. Shouldn't even be in the squad. Don't know. I don't. Yeah, but I agreed with Kems when he was saying that Bailey should come off the bench. Listen, you see, if a game is very tight, so if we lead in 1-0 or the game is 1-1, we need a win. So therefore, we need somebody to come off the bench in case we need a goal to separate ourselves from that El Salvador team, right? And I believe that Bailey can give us a good 25 minutes or 20 minutes where he can provide that impetus. And if we need a goal, we get an extra goal. So I would have him on the bench and not starting him.
Oh, just to point out something though. You said something about USA can afford to lose. USA coach is under pressure. They are pressuring him because of they haven't gotten a few favorable results. So he is under pressure right now as it stands.
Yeah, and them say pressure bus pipe.
Well, hopefully.
Kems, you can touch on that, Kems, because I remember you came here, Kems, and you talk about when USA never qualified for the World Cup and how much investment they put into it and all that. So Sheikh said that USA can afford to lose. Tell Sheikh that's not the case, because if this man doesn't win these few games, he's going to get the sack.
No
And
man,
it's Mexico and Jamaica.
yeah, man,
Mm.
a big thing up here, man. A big thing up here. With because I believe that if you know anything about America, right? America always want to be number one in everything. You know, them couldn't do knife throwing, them want to be number one in it. Whether you know they pour a lot of money into it or not. But I believe, you know, when the USA didn't qualify for the World Cup, you know, all people who never watch, all people who don't watch football, all analysts who don't talk about football, start talk
Yeah, man.
about it and oh my God, can you imagine how could they not made them don't know nothing about it, you know, but them just a talk about it and say it's a big embarrassment and so. So um, you know, I don't think USA can afford for in a no in the mix right there. So USA is supposed to be based on you know the model of USA. They're supposed to be on the top, sitting comfortably while everybody down at the bottom are fight for scraps. If USA in at the scraps, they might start look on the coach and be like, you know, probably is he the right? You gotta start here. Is he the right man for the job? Should we get somebody
Them
else?
started already.
But, hmm?
That has been said already because
See that?
one of
See,
the analysts on ESPN was saying, but you guys won 2 trophies in the summer. You won Nations League and you won Gold Cup. Somebody said the summer gone.
yep.
I work a different thing now.
Yep. And again, you know, and if you look on any dominant US sports, so you look on the NFL and you look on basketball, right? We could talk about those two sports, right? You could have won a championship last season. This season is like everybody have amnesia and I'm ready again for you win something else this year. Because you know we're in a results business and you're supposed to win something every single year. You're supposed to continuously update your resume. You know, so if you so in the summer them win Gold Cup, okay, a World Cup time now. You need to qualify for the World Cup convincingly. We're supposed to feel like say we can at least make the semi-finals of the World Cup. I saw the USA pre. You know, we're not supposed to a fight with Mexico and Jamaica and El Salvador and them. You know, so you know that's really just how they look at things. So they're probably the USA coach they're probably under more pressure than Tapa right now.
Yeah, that is true. The way they made by ESPN, that is true.
Yeah, yeah. But look at it though, and we'll keep on saying right. If you look at Jamaica, the good thing for Tapa right now is that the players are supporting him now. We see more players coming out. Players that people would actually thought that is against him, they're coming out and giving the support because I mean a lot of people would want to see him out, you know, but we have come to the conclusion that hey, guess what? Tapa is not going anywhere. So
We're
it's
stuck with
either
him.
they're just going to support him or they don't do anything at all. So right now they're just trumping up the support behind him. It's not for the players to go out there and execute, right?
Yeah,
Because I mean they got two decent results. One against Canada, yeah, they got a draw, and then they got the victory against Algeria. So as Shakes came on and said that these players should take those two results and use it to push them to another level. And I mean, what better opposition for you to get than El Salvador, than a team that you're fighting with? So I mean, if they get a result here, and I mean, as Ryan said, 4 points at minimum, this could be a very good window for Jamaica, and it will push them up the table, and also for the remaining fixtures. Because as I said on multiple podcasts before, most of Jamaica remaining games are at home. So the
And
government has allowed 5,000 fans in. So we don't know if probably next year it will allow more into the stadium. So Jamaica need
that
to
would go
take
March,
advantage of the situation
February,
as it
March, there, bro.
now.
That would go February, March.
Yeah.
January. January is the next window. The
Oh,
27th.
we're starting early. Okay.
The 27th and 30th.
As I know, like FIFA normally start back February, March, there, about. So
Yeah.
they're starting early. They have they have a backlog, so they
So
have to start early.
it's the 27th, 30th, and then February 2nd.
Okay.
Can I add one thing?
So as I was saying, yeah, they need to take that.
Oh, go ahead.
Shoot, go ahead.
Oh, I was saying, and why I said Jamaica needs the 6 points, because of all the teams during this window, when you look at the table and the fixtures, Panama, who is currently ahead, they have the easiest fixtures of all the teams. they play Honduras and El Salvador, right? So if we want to count points, you literally need to just give Panama points. So we need to win. So we can hope that Costa Rica and Canada draw, right? We can hope that Mexico beat America, right? But we also need to do our business because you just have to think that Panama will do their business. And because they are 3 points ahead, Ryan was saying he's hoping for 4 points. For me, 4 points not good enough if Panama is aiming to get 6 points because that's going to open up a bigger lead. And then
No man,
when we
four
come
points.
to, huh?
No, I'm saying 4 points minimum. I
No, man,
want
I
the six
know, I
points.
know, but
I want the
I
6 points
believe that. Yeah, but I believe
because
that if Panama gets 6, right, they're gonna end up on 14 points. If we
mm,
if we get 4 points, we are 9. That's a 5 point gap. I
okay.
don't believe I don't believe we can come back from that gap if
Yeah, and
if we
but
don't if we don't
that's
get the
true.
six
I understand what
points.
you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
and if
so we
and
have to look at the other teams.
the
That
USA
home
what, on
defeat
11
against
points,
Panama, that home defeat against Panama really put us in a rut, not just for the other top teams, but because Panama, they basically get a freebie, if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
in terms of they have a head start on us.
Yeah, but look at another thing too. USA is on second with 11 points, right?
Yeah,
Let us say USA gets 0 points this window and we get our 6 points. We are right there. We're right side of USA.
we're right there. Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, I know Shakes is saying Panama have the easy run, but like I say, El Salvador beat Panama 1-0 first, so anything can happen. So let's hope for something like that.
Well, but what you think Honduras going to do?
No, Honduras they didn't have the show, but El Salvador.
You know what, man? I just want, as I say, more everybody draw and we win.
Yeah,
And
because if we say Honduras to lose to Panama, all right, that's 3 points. Then the only thing we can hope is that after we beat El Salvador, is that El Salvador come back and beat Panama.
the only
We
team
would
who
need
want win apart from
we would need
Jamaica
that.
is
It's
Mexico.
Mexico.
As them gone
Exactly.
already.
The only team. Yep.
Oh, just a little side note. I know we're saying that I'ma just say Honduras did another show, but I watched Elise playing against Mbappe them weekend gone, and the man was on fire, boss. He was tearing up Mbappe and Hakimi and all of them boys against PSG. So you never
What
can tell.
province you from?
Oh, with a Bordeaux, one of them French team. I remember who they
Oh,
play
okay.
PSG, but he
Pardon.
was Bordeaux. Yes, man. He was lightning, man.
Well, we're stopping from score, so
But I'm
that's
going
good.
for it. Right, right.
Go live on, go live on.
All right. So as we were saying that all Jamaica need to do is play together as a unit, as they have done in the last two games. I mean, the first game, you saw lapses in the defense, but in the last game that they played, you saw a better team playing together. And if they're getting these quality players and they can't get a result in these fixtures, in a sense, about to keep on go and think that yeah, we can actually qualify because as you say, Nadimo, it's not a case as if El Salvador is all that over the top. It's not a case as if they can't be beaten. And without fans, that should even give Jamaica another push. And I was scrolling through earlier on today and watching the guys' Insta stories and the Insta posts, and I can see that they're all vibing, man. I saw Antonio and all those guys having a vibe. So it seems like there's something good going on in the camp. So they all can take the props on that and move on. But will they? That's a big question.
Boss, you see for me, I don't watch vibes, because people mistake vibes and camaraderie with chemistry. And that is not the case as we saw in the Gold Cup, because there was a lot of vibes, a lot of camaraderie, and that the same thing happen up on them Instagram man shoot down Bobby Reed with the play gun them, and everybody a laugh and a skin off them teeth and whatnot. Yeah. but that is camaraderie. On the field, boss, if Tapa doesn't get the tactics right, and what him have, what, 3 days for train, probably, max? Him need to get everybody who's going to play in that 11, playing together day in, day out, and form a chemistry on the field. Because what we saw in that Panama game, boss, there was a lot of camaraderie before, but when you see them on the field, no chemistry. I will get a flagging. Zine, so I need to see chemistry on the field and not just camaraderie.
Okay. So now let's switch our attention a little bit. Just going the scoreline prediction for this one. So Demo, how you see it finishing?
3-0 Jamaica.
Thames?
Um, 2-1 Jamaica.
And Shakes already said 3-1, so I don't need to ask Shakes that question again. So we're going to switch across sports for a minute. We saw the first World Cup semi-final in the T20 took place earlier today, and New Zealand got the better of England. And Shake said that hey, he's actually the guru of prediction around here. But Shake's he actually had company in the comment section, and I can bring up that comment from way up top because she came out early and actually
Michelle.
posted her comment. So there it is. She was
Michelle,
there last
man.
night, and I saw her keep on saying that New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand. So
I
England
think there
first
were
up, as I said,
three
from
of
a
us.
Saturday mail.
There were
Hey,
three of
remember
us in the
to,
comment section yesterday. Yeah.
hey, remember to, I know Shakes I go do him little thing, and I know Demo I go do him little thing. So let me do
No, you
my,
know. No, you
let me
know,
do my
Kems.
small thing, right? Let me do my
Is
small
you
thing
is
before.
you and Demo, man. Is you and Demo.
No,
I
no,
listen.
sir. Me and
I
the,
enjoyed. Oh, and thank you, Kems, for the one big up, as in for the first big up where you ever give me in your life. And I just because me know so you're not go at Demo, why you actually give me the big up, right? I know it
no,
must
man.
have pain in your
You
heart
deserve, no,
to do
man, you
that.
deserve the big up, man. No, man, you deserve.
But big up. But yeah, I'll let you and Demo go at it again tonight, man.
No, sir. I'm not go at it with anybody who get predictions wrong or who come give a 10 minutes worth of analysis and nothing like that and go on the game, right? Only thing I'm going to say is that I asked a question yesterday about the Australia and Pakistan game. I'm telling you say when I tell me when you come with this one baga guru talk analysis talk and thing like it's a one-off game. Like anything can happen in these games. It's not a series, not a 5-match series, 10-match series, not even 3-match series. It's a one-off game. Whoever come more prepared that day, then they can tell me about pitch all day from now till next year. Whoever come more prepared that day, whoever come and execute the better that day win. You think, okay, if New Zealand and England play 5 more times, but sure, when that's about England would have probably win majority of the games. But it was just a one-off game, and I just think New Zealand was better. I think New Zealand wanted it more. I don't know if England underestimate New Zealand or but England was due. I don't remember who said it on the panel yesterday. So England was due a bad game. England was due a bad game. Normally people want losing at the group stages. So all right, them feel how the losing feel or what. I don't know if England had lost in the game, prior. But
Against South Africa.
um
They lost their last game against South Africa.
oh yeah, the last game was against South Africa, yeah. But it's just a one-off game, and I think tomorrow is going to be the same thing. Everybody going to expect Pakistan to win. I just think Australia is going to do a surprise, and I think it's going to be an Australia New Zealand final because the whole world has said yes, England Pakistan final. Yes, this is sure. England out. Only can have the show now.
All right, Demo. So England, as I mentioned, I was about to say before Kems actually interjected, but the first not really the first mistake. When I realized that this game would be won by New Zealand was when I saw England only made 166. From there, I said it was too low. They should have at least posted over 180 runs. And you see that middle phase between David Malan and Moeen Ali. I think Moeen Ali should have just slugged and just got himself out. Just slug. Because he was finding it hard to hit some of the deliveries at times. He wasn't really timing the ball properly. And Even Beerstow at the beginning, Beerstow had a horrible innings at the beginning. So that was an issue for them. And as I said, from I saw they didn't make over 180, I said that this is New Zealand game for the taking. All New Zealand need to do was be at least 110 by the 15th over. And they were right there. And from there on in, they hit what, six, I believe it was 60 runs off the last like 24 deliveries. And people said that, and I said it too, that Chris Jordan gave away that game. Chris Jordan is known to nail Yorkers at the death. He normally does that. I never saw any Yorker in that over that he gave away 23 runs. And people might be criticizing captain, say, hey, they should have communicated with him more and what have you not. But kudos to New Zealand because they were good in the field. That first catch by Kane Williamson showed that, hey, he's leading from the front. And I know that Demo is one of them that came here from the get-go and said that New Zealand in that field has been brilliant. And they proved it once again today.
Don't
And I
say
even
that. Don't
remember
say that. Don't say
um,
that. Them say me no give no guru analysis. Don't say that. Don't say that.
I remember there's this boundary that I think it was Dowd Malan was striking the ball crisply through the offside, and it was Glenn Phillips who was running around, and he committed fully to it, and it prevented the boundary, and they only got 3 from it. So it shows that New Zealand is all about that. They give it their all, and congrats to them. Good captaincy by Kane Williamson, even though people criticize him for not using what's his name, Mitchell Santner more often, because they're saying that if he's the best bowler in your team, you can't tell me that because he's a left-hand man down there, the man can bowl against him. They said they think it's stupid, and they need to cut out this foolishness in cricket. Now you can go ahead and talk, Dimo.
I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, everybody watched the game, and there's not much to say. But I remember, I don't know, people bashing me about the predictions and all of this thing. I was the one who came out here and said that the standard of feeling by New Zealand, they're going to go far in this tournament. I'm gonna say that from the World Cup just start. Yeah. I also came out yesterday and I said to you that England might have what me did say the law of averages and wait, no, let me finish. And the law of averages.
No. Hold on.
Oh
Question.
my gosh, bro.
Hold on. No, because what you just said is very erroneous. You just said New Zealand, they were going to go far, yet still you had Afghanistan to go through. That's what you were saying on the shows, day in, day out. And you had
I was about to
Pakistan
say that,
to reach
which
the
far them
final.
about?
And it's only 2 teams from that group could go through.
Yeah, but how much games them are going to play?
No,
How much games them are going to play in the tournament?
Hold on, Demo, if you enter the group stage, going far can be playing only the group stage.
All right, fine, fair. That's fair. That's a fair comment. But I said that they would do well in the tournament because their feeling is one of the best in the tournament. So I said that they were going to do well.
Demo, make up your mind.
So hold on now. The Afghanistan thing came afterwards when we see Afghanistan play and whatever. We are talk about.
Boy.
After
Demo,
they won the
Demo is
anyway, remember breakdown.
Can't make it to the semi-final from one group. It's only 2. That's all I'm trying to say, bro.
All right. Go on, talk. All right, so like man say, yeah, the thing is, we saw the game today, and I said to you guys that England might be reach at this stage now where the law of averages might come. And I remember Sheikh saying in the comment section that they already lost the game. England already lost the game to South Africa. And I may say, well, them they already qualify and whatnot. I come watch back over the stream. And I remember saying all of these things, but at the end of the day, may I go pick England. So I gave analysis and I gave stuff and all of that. But on the day, obviously a team can win and a team can lose. There's no big magic for pick one or the other. It's no magic. Anybody can randomly come and look on the game and say, oh, New Zealand are going to win that game. No. But I came here and I said all of these things. I'm going to say the matchups are going to be important. I said all of those stuff. I thought that Conway wasn't on any big farm, but he came out and he played well today. Yeah, and he wasn't in any big farm coming into the game. He scratched up some runs against Scotland or Namibia or whoever it was. Right? Nobody never give Mitchell a mention coming into this game. Nobody no name Mitchell. Yeah, but him come out and him play that magical innings. Nobody give no analysis about him, but he came. And that's how it goes. That's how it goes. The man them come and they played well. Levon said that Chris Jordan always kneel down in Yorker. But guess what? On this day, not one Yorker the man bowl. You know why? Because they set their mind for target the big side of the boundary. So you must start try ball straight in at the man leg, see him hit the ball leg side and get catching at the big side of the boundary. But Jimmy Nisham was just too good. He was too strong and he was clearing the big side of the boundary. Me can't come out now and say my analysis did wrong. Chris Jordan is a man who always hits his Yorkers. And this day it come out that he wasn't hitting his Yorkers and him travel. And that was a key moment in that match that turned the game completely. Because at the back end of England's innings, the man they made 99 in the last 10. 99 runs them get because them they are stall and a struggle like Levan they say. And them get 99. I'm gonna say, oh, from watching all the pitcher play, they might be able to defend the score. And they were right there to defend the score. But guess what? A man who nobody knows about, Mitchell, him come and win the game. Nisham come and Chris Jordan misses Yorkers and he went all over the place. That's it. So people might say, oh, them pick New Zealand, that's fine. But other people pick England. It's 50-50 who are going the game. But my thing is, I come out to give analysis about the game and I'm going to pick whom I think are going the game based off of that analysis. Don't tell me, say, because you come and you don't give no analysis about the game, you just say, New Zealand are going to win. And then that's supposed to be some big guru talk because them win. No, me no reason cricket so. The man Shakes literally just put in the comments, New Zealand to win. And that's it. And New Zealand wins, so Shakes will take all of the credit. No, bro. That's not how it works. Me give my analysis, then me work with what I say, and I picked out 2 people can win the game. One person can win the game out of 2. 50-50 chance.
All right.
All right, can I point out one thing though? All right, all I'll say is that we came on here and we gave analysis about the game, and I said that based on the strength of England, I expected them to get the better of New Zealand. No, I predicted them to win, and they lost. So here what? I concede. I got it wrong. Move on.
Exactly.
You're about to say something.
Yes.
No,
The whole world
Demo.
still get it wrong.
No, Demo, this is what we talked about yesterday. You always have to come with, instead of just say, boy, me get it wrong, you always have to come and try to say, well, I analyze, anybody can come and say this. I analyze the game and this is, no, we don't want to hear that. We know you analyze. We were all here yesterday. We know what you did. We just want you to come and say, you know what, I was wrong. All right, let's be fair, right? You see, especially when we do the Premier League predictions and you do your analysis and so you get them right, when you come on the show, you gloat. Oh, I picked a draw here, I picked a draw there. So why when it goes in the opposite direction, why you can't come and say, well, boy, I'm sure England did go win, but boy, England lose. Boy, I was wrong on this one,
So that is a big issue. So me need to just come and admit, say, oh, me get it wrong.
Accountability.
So that a issue.
Accountability, yes.
This must be some joke. So the whole world never say we get it wrong. But me, so Levan never come and say, oh, me get it wrong.
All right.
So wait. So every Premier League game you get wrong. You come and say, oh, so me get it wrong?
Well, of course, when we talk about it and Levan will even call me out and say, boy, I don't even know what I was thinking about the game, boy, I may get that wrong all the way.
All right. So from now on, I will come and I will say when the whole world already see it, I will come and say. But like me say, for tomorrow the game Pakistan and something, that's the game I said Australia have no chance. Sheikh's coming and type comments to me say England had no chance. Me never said that yesterday. For the Pakistan game, I say because of the matchups against Australia has no chance. So we will see how that
Nobody could have said you said England have no chance, boss.
Boss, me pull it up on my phone because it happened. Continue talking.
That England has no chance.
Levan, continue talk. I'm going to pull it up.
Yeah, okay.
Say New Zealand. Say New Zealand have no chance. I didn't say that on the stream. So I don't know why I'm coming and say why I'm say New Zealand have no chance. Why would I say that?
All right, so Sir Shakes, you're hot in your mood today, man. I mean, literally, you were all out. So, you got the prediction right. You call it in the comment section. I saw you typed it multiple times that New Zealand is going to get the better of England. No, they did. And what you have to say about the game and your prediction, because you're claiming to be as I said in the comment section last night, you're the top predictor around here because
I
you on a
am.
roll, you know. You
I
came on.
am.
You said that Chris Gayle is either going to make 1 or 75, and he did make 1. You said that
Listen,
New Zealand is going to make it because they commented multiple times. So I'm going to give it that. So yeah, you're on a roll. Go ahead.
yeah, it was not one off, and it wasn't because Demo, because Devin never picked. Nobody picked New Zealand, right? And each time everybody was giving the other team, I said New Zealand, New Zealand, New Zealand. Listen, before I even touch on New Zealand, let me point out some things. South Africa, they're a trash team. Australia, they're a trash team. South Africa, they came third in the group. Australia, they're into the semi-final, right? We soon get to tomorrow's other semi-final. New Zealand weren't gonna make it ahead of Pakistan and Afghanistan, right? West Indies going to go to the finals and win the T20 World Cup. That is Demo's. Those are all Demo's predictions, right? Thus far, and those are his guru analysis. Now, last night when I listened to what you guys were talking about, right? You guys said Jason Roy was out. Yes, he pulled his hamstring. Timal Mills was also out of that game. So anybody that is going to claim guru status would simply realize that, guess what? England ain't the team to win that game come today, right? Because the openers, right? You mess up the openers right there in terms of the partnership. If a man want to talk about Johnny Bearstow or whatever coming in, guess what? The man has not really batted in the tournament, right? Really and truly, the rest of the England team hasn't really batted a whole lot, which is why even Owen Morgan, even though him can't scratch him name, right? If you realize he sent himself all the way down. Dima actually admitted that last night that Owen Morgan can't even scratch his name because you guys were going through the team. That with Malan, Dimo even said it that him on don't rate average, right? Yeah, he made a little run. He made that decent runs today, right? But when you really think about it, it's really just Butler that has been carrying the team. Jason Roy has been performing well, and then the bowling side of the English team that was really performing and ensuring that they win games. They restricted West Indies, they restricted Australia. Yeah, they lost to South Africa in the last game. If you want to say, all right, they are already qualified, so it don't matter, right? But they won every time they needed to win. Right? They played well against South Africa, against Sri Lanka, and that was really on the back of the 101 by Josh Butler, right? So when you look on it, you know, is they have been playing different types of cricket, situational cricket, based on the teams that they were playing. They had come up against a team like New Zealand that is a unit, that is a balanced team in terms of batting and bowling. So if you lose Timal Mills and Jason Roy, you can't just go out and say, oh, England are going to win the game just like that. No. For me, and that's why I kept on saying New Zealand because for me, the New Zealand team, you see, since they lost that game against Pakistan, they just have been building and building and building. And we soon start talk about Australia too, but I'm just waiting, right? But New Zealand, they have been building and building. And one of the greatest strengths for New Zealand has been the runs that they don't give away in the field. 21. That's almost twice as many as the next best team, South Africa, who is gone home, and Australia, I think, who is on 10, right? But New Zealand, their fielding has been excellent. Their bowling has been excellent. You talk about, other night when I was on the podcast, I said that T20 is about phases in terms of bowling. So, Levon, you were just pointing out that Michel Santner never get a ball. But guess what? Why would you bowl him when you have two left-handers in there if you go hit the man for 6? Every other ball. Yeah, that's what would have happened. You said England they were short. They really should have put on 180 on the board. You see, if Santana had bowled, they were very likely to get that 180 runs.
Not necessarily Shakes, because I remember that Glenn Phillips came on to bowl some lollipop in and he considered 11 from his 1 over. So I mean, with Santana bowl 1 over, how much did he concede from that 1 over?
8.
Okay. And you look
But
at
remember,
Liam Livingston.
remember that over was when he had just come in.
Liam Livingston.
Yeah.
But hold on, man. Look at Liam Livingston, right? He came on and he bowled, right? And you'd say the matchup between him and the guys that were batting would have been perfect for them to cart him all over the field. Yet they really never did, because he considered like 22 of his 4 overs. So
no.
I mean,
you can't use
Liam.
You can't use Liam Livingston.
Levon. When Santana,
you can't. Wait, Shakes. Let me just tell Levon why I can't use Livingston. Boss, Liam Livingston is a special talent. He bowls off break and he bowls leg break all in the same. So when the left-handers are batting, he bowls off break to them. So the ball go away from them. So that's what Shakes say. If you bowl a left arm spin, it will turn into the left-hander. So he turns it away from the from the left-handers. And then when you bowl to the right-handers, he bowl the leg break for turn it away. So you can't use Livingston.
I know that he is, but in the previous game, they cart him all over. So I mean, he never really mattered in that previous game against it was against South Africa. So yeah, I know that he has a special talent of doing that, because he said it himself that he has learned this trade from Moeen Ali and Adil Rashid.
Yeah. So I mean, no, you said the commentator say matchups, whatever, but I disagree with him completely. I think it was Simon Dewell they attack. I'm gonna say, what nonsense man attack. Matchups are very much important, and Santana bowling to Ali. And they no, you're not for do that. That's wrong.
Why not? If you're that good of a bowler, why does it matter?
Because it is easier for the left-hander to hit the ball to that side, brother.
To the leg side, yes.
Easier. It is in your heart.
Look at what I'm saying.
Listen, all right. Look on when.
Don't you think that? Go ahead.
Go on. No, I was just gonna point out Nisham. Look at when Nisham was batting, right? And look where he was targeting. It's the same thing. Moeen Ali and David Malan would have done with Santana. He would have just conceded runs, easy.
This is what I was thinking. I was thinking the way that Akil is actually thinking. He said that he would have gotten out in the deep, because what I keep on saying, remember that is that a case as if Moeen was timing the ball properly. From he came down, I realized that he wasn't in that nick that they expected him to be. So I would have just taken the gamble. I'm just saying.
What him one of the batsmen in Finland who look the most fluent. What you mean him never timed the ball properly?
He wasn't. He wasn't fluent to me.
No, some Moeen Ali clean to
I've known Moeen Ali for the longest while, and Moeen Ali wasn't as fluent. Yes, he may look.
Moeen Ali no make 50 today.
Yeah, but Levon, you have to remember that the batsmen in the English team haven't really been in the middle game after game after game. So they're not gonna look 100%, but I wouldn't say he was off color. He was probably at like 80% of his best.
All right, so hold on a second, Shakes. I'm at Demo. Daryl Mitchell innings, right? Since that Shakes gave Moeen Ali 80% in terms of his form, how much would they give Daryl Mitchell up until he was probably around 40?
He was scratching.
Yeah, he was biding his time and stroking the ball around, getting his singles and twos until it's time to go. What do you mean?
You know that he was mistiming a lot of balls?
Yeah, but must say too, the pitch allows that, because brother, this is one thing about the tournament I can't understand. Like the pitches can be so poor. Like Trent bowl a bouncer. Like he never
Yep.
even expect the ball to bounce so high, fly over the wicket keeper and go for four. He bowl
Aye.
the ball the same spot, it cut the batsman in half, barely pass over the
Yep.
stump. Yeah, so that gonna affect batsman
And
timing all the time.
you remember the ball that actually got Malan out? That's Saudi ball. Remember that the previous delivery, Saudi actually pitched it shorter. The ball never didn't actually rise that much,
Yes.
and he decided to pitch it up further, and that one rise more. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
man. The
him,
pitch
That
was
him
means
just
very
there
pitch
for
up and
inconsistent.
him
he
just there
played.
for him just there for buying him time until him knows yo, you have to just go. And Nisham
And
came in and he provided a spark. So hey, you have to go to.
and if you realize from the English inning, that is what Just Butler was trying to do. He was trying to play like he played against Sri Lanka. He didn't hit any sixes. He hit 4 fours. So he was literally just trying to be there. He realized that Beerstow wasn't doing anything. He got out. All right, Malan come out. He was just trying to set a platform where he was just gonna bat out, probably face 40 deliveries and then go. So he would always be
One
ahead.
problem for
Of,
him though.
yeah.
Shakes, you know that he's the one that actually got himself out. I mean, he tried to sweep the man too much times, brother. Every time the man the ball, you see the man keep on switch on to his left hand side too much. I mean, yeah, he masters the shot here, but sometimes, man, play straight.
Yeah, but I think that was just unlucky. It was just an unlucky one because if he hit that for four, because that was against Saudi, and he had done that the previous over, yeah, and it had gone to the boundary, and
But he tried
based
it,
on
he
the
tried it, he tried it
form,
2 times. He tried it 2 times in that same over, though.
yeah, but you see, Levon, you see, based on the form that he has been in. I can't fault the man for trying that shot based on the form that he's been in because he has been the form batsman for that team. If you are the second highest run scorer in the tournament, it means that you are batting well. But the only man that is above him in terms of runs is Babar Azam. So I can't necessarily fault him for that. And for me, you see even that reverse sweep, that is a safer shot for him than trying to clear the boundary on the long side against the spinner. So he at that time of the game, especially after Beerstow got out, he would have he's just going to keep doing that to basically prevent the bowler from settling also. Because when you play them shots, you prevent the bowler from settling. So you'll always be able, even if you're not getting boundaries all the time, you'll be able to get ones and twos.
Yeah, what you're saying, but we're just going to move on and look forward to the game tomorrow. Now, Pakistan going up against Australia, and again, the game starts at 9 a.m. Jamaica time, and also for people over there in the US as well, because I know that we're currently on the same time. So 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, we'll see Pakistan taking on Australia. Pakistan, the pre-tournament favorites, playing some good cricket so far. But boy, as people always say, a team is due a bad game. Can Pakistan go all the way unbeaten? I've never really seen this happen before. Australia, now on the other hand, they have slowly built their way up, and the thing that is going for them is that David Warner is getting back into form. Came into the tournament out of sorts. He took his time, and he realized what is required of him in the tournament. As Just Butler did against Sri Lanka, where he just batted until he got himself in. That is what David Warner has done. Yeah, I mean, on a couple of occasions they have dropped him, but hey, it's part of cricket. But that is going for them. Mitch Marsh also had a good innings against West Indies, so I mean, players are running into form. No, Kems came here last night and said that, boy, he's sticking with Australia on this one. So, Kems, anything change your mind from last night until now, or you actually believe that they are going to pip Pakistan to come tomorrow?
Well, so after the New Zealand result today, I'm even more convinced, And again, Demo come here and him say, Pakistan bowling will give Australia a lot of trouble, and he said Australia has no chance. But again, like I can't bring myself to say that because Like, why would you say Australia have zero chance? Like, that's impossible for a team have zero chance. Like, at the end of the day, all these players are pros, and I just believe that people, just like how people write out New Zealand, because if you did a survey, 98% of the people are say England, 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 right? So I just think that, I don't have no over the top analysis to say, well, Australia do this and on the pitch. I don't have that. But I just know that in a one game, anything can happen. And if you know anything about Australia, is a team, you can call them cheaters or whatever it is, but they played a lot of pride. They played a lot of pride, and I know that, they know that they are being written off because, Pakistan has been, one of the teams that people have been raving about all tournament. So, I just believe that Australia, have a chip on your shoulder. I know in sports it's a big thing, always have a chip on your shoulder. And I think if Australia can just stand up and just bat, I think they'll do well. If I'm
Can I
wrong,
give you a fun fact?
Okay.
huh?
Can I give you guys a fun fact?
Go ahead.
So BBC, and as Kim's rightfully said, everybody else had England to go through, and they all have Pakistan to go through, as in one of the favorites, right? In white ball cricket, the two most prolific teams get into white ball cricket finals. They are down the southern hemisphere. They are neighbors, Australia and New Zealand. Those teams have got to white ball finals more than any other cricket nation in history. They have pedigree when it comes on to semi-finals.
Please ask
Right?
BBC how many finals has Australia been to in the T20s. Not just white ball. Nobody come through in 50 overs in this. Ask
It don't matter.
BBC. What do you mean it don't matter? We're talking about the T20 World Cup. They're chokers.
But hold on. But you see, Demo, you mentioned that. So England, how many T20 World Cup finals have they been to?
May I ask you about Australia?
No, man. How many finals have England been to?
They went to West Indies finals and lost. And
yeah,
probably that's the only one.
That's it. Thank you. Right.
And I'm saying to you.
So you see, Levon, there isn't a history and a long database where you can say, all right, this team is pedigree when it comes on to a T20 tournament, semi-finals and finals. England, they've been to one. Okay, you know who has pedigree? Sri Lanka and West Indies. Those are the only two teams that really have pedigree.
No, man, hold on a second, Shakes. Hold on.
And if you want to throw
England
it
won it in the Caribbean. Come on.
Huh?
England has won it.
World Cup, Shakes.
Which one? The T20?
Yeah, in the Caribbean for
the
sure.
first one, yeah.
See, Anthony said it in the Caribbean, England.
Oh, I didn't even remember that. Right?
Yeah,
but
that's
really
one.
and truly,
That's one.
the only teams that really have real pedigree because they've been to the most finals, West Indies and Sri Lanka. And if you want, throw in India because India is always a white ball team, right? But for me, you can't really use a short database to say that a team. And when Kems is saying that, oh, you can't get up and say a team have zero chance, like them just can't win. No, because the database is not big. And if you have some teams that are tournament teams, listen, Australia, they have been late on the party when it comes on to T20, right? Their focus was always Test cricket and ODI cricket. They're just late to the party, right? But really and truly, whole heap of the teams don't have great pedigree.
So Shakes, what do you say about Pakistan? Because Pakistan has been to 2 finals and 3 semis. Would you consider that as pedigree?
You know what Pakistan has? Everybody has Pakistan as a choker. Everybody
Shakes,
has
I never
Pakistan
asked you that. I asked you about this specifically. I don't care where you are.
Yes, they have pedigree. They have pedigree in choking.
If you have them as a choker, just like Emo said.
No, it's not me. It's not me. Hold on. It's not me. Everybody in the world has Pakistan as chokers. Everybody.
So what?
Even
What
from
are Australia? What are Australia?
even from last night, everybody was saying, oh, if it's one thing about Pakistan is that they are due one bad game, and everybody can say that about Pakistan because that's just their cricketing history.
So Shakes, what is Australia then? What is Australia?
What do you mean? What is Australia?
In T20, what is Australia? Because if you consider Pakistan as a choker, what
No,
is
but hold
Australia
on,
in T20s?
But Levon, I wasn't really talking about Australia, you know. I was talking about England versus New Zealand. Cause remember I was pointing about the BBC headline where they said New Zealand stunned England, but it's not a stunning upset.
Come on, Shakes. You mentioned Australia. You said that New Zealand and Australia has pedigree of going to semi-finals and
Yes,
beyond. You
in
mentioned
terms of
Australia as well.
white ball cricket. And remember, white ball cricket includes ODI and T20. So if you have teams that have that on their resume, you can't say Australia have zero chance against Pakistan, and you can't say England were stunned by New Zealand, because these are teams that actually perform when it come on to T20 and ODI. That's the point I'm making. So for the game tomorrow, I want to hear Demo's analysis, right? So
Yes,
Demo can
please.
go before me.
Please,
So let me see if he change him analysis.
Change. First of all, I'm going to say this. Big up Jeff for telling us that Ja Morant is doing awesome, even though I'm not say it in the comments. But anyway, I have not changed my analysis, and I'm going to say it again. If you look on the predictor stuff, you're going to see that Pakistan have a chance. But me, I am telling you, no, I mean Australia have a chance. But me telling you right now that Australia has no chance, 0% chance to beat Pakistan tomorrow. I can guarantee you that. The matchups for this is just all Pakistan. All Pakistan, right? And you can come. Me never said this yesterday about New Zealand and England, because I know that, you know, anybody can win it 50-50. But this is all Pakistan. Don't come bring white ball cricket like say you want to mix up 50 overs and 20 overs with Australia. No, we're talking about 2020 cricket, and they are chokers. They have not won this tournament before. Yeah, in 2020, they're chokers. And right now, this Pakistan team is clear day and night between this Australian team. The matchups will be too much, and Pakistan will have too much quality in terms of 2020 cricketers to play against Australia. Australia have this Steve Smith and Mitch Marsh and these guys. Probably only David Warner, you would say, are one of the clear out and out T20 cricketer with them have. Everybody else, you know, them standard ODI team, and Mitch Marsh try get into that. Oh, Glenn Maxwell as well. So you can put in Glenn Maxwell. But apart from that, this Pakistan team is clear night and day, and they will win this game easily. Easily. It won't even be competitive. So it's a 0% chance for Australia tomorrow. And this is not even one joke. This is very serious. And Pakistan will win the game.
All right.
Shakes, you can go ahead in a boss. What are you waiting on?
Oh my. So you see, even before the game today, Levon, you just mentioned some people. Some people that you won't even call them real T20 players and that New Zealand team. Yet we all know who the winners were, right? I'm going to switch over, Levon, to my laptop here. So I'm going to go over for a minute.
Yes. I'm glad you said that. And Kims, you can come and say, but if me wrong, we need to come and blah blah blah, whatever. But I am telling you, there's no wrong in this analysis and prediction for tomorrow.
So I mean, Dima, if Australia does beat Pakistan tomorrow, what will you be saying?
Yeah,
Because
but that
as a
that
matter of
won't
fact,
happen. That won't happen.
Dima will be here in his element tomorrow because Dima will be hosting the podcast tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
Hey,
yeah.
Dima will be here, so you can show
hey,
all what you want to throw at him.
hey, if Australia win tomorrow, send me the email. If they lose, me sit out. Me sit out.
No, no, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. That's why I'm gonna really take this like if we get it, a prediction wrong as something strong. Because guess what? You see, tomorrow when Pakistan win the game, people are gonna come, oh, this is my first prediction right in a however long. Like I'm supposed to take that as something bad because I'm a first prediction, even though I get the thing right. So for
No.
me, it's neither here or there.
All right. So, so let me say it from now, because if Pakistan win, I hear a feedback somewhere. But if Pakistan win, I won't be on the show tomorrow. So let me just say it from now. So if Pakistan wins Demo, I'm going to say that you're absolutely right. You were spot on. You were on the ball. Your analysis was perfect. 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Australia
but
has.
James, me no want you to tell me that because me say Pakistan are go win. That's my point in the whole thing, you know. Anybody can say a team are go win. More
No.
you tell me that because of my analysis.
So
So
that's what
so wait no, so more just give an analysis and then say me no pick no winner. Like me just make an analysis and just leave it and you say, yo, me respect your analysis and from your analysis, it sound like Pakistan are go win. I so want people for me don't want people to just say, true, me say Pakistan are go win and them win. Or you spot on and rain. No.
But Dima, guess what the difference now, Dima? You went out on a limb now, you know. You said that Australia has zero chance
Yeah.
tomorrow.
If my phone never dead, would I show you the if you go up on Google right now and put in Australia versus thing, you're gonna see the win predictability. And you're gonna see it as share probably like 64 whatever. Right? But me I telling you, 0% chance for Australia.
All right, Shakes, go ahead now. Shakes, what's happening with your boss? Shakes probably smoking some weed, man. But boy, Dimo, I mean, if you get this wrong in the boss, man, you should get some beating from all the people because you see what I went out and you went out and Alim and said 0%, not even an ounce of chance you're giving Australia to win this game, you know. So you gave your analysis and yeah, we give you that. However, when you're going to go out on a limb now in a boss and say, yo, 0% chance of winning, you take it to a next level there. So if you get some sticks, you have to take it.
All right, fine. But just so people don't just give me ratings because I say a team are go win. That's easy to do.
All right, Shakes, you can go ahead.
Yeah. So for me, the game is tough to call, and why I say the game is tough to call, because usually when it comes down to history, a team doesn't go unbeaten in a tournament, right? What's the win
What
predictor?
what's that? What
Oh,
that say?
49, 51. There you go. All right. See? I didn't even know that. 49, 51 in
So
favor of
51 to
Pakistan.
Pakistan?
Yes. So you
It's
see, even without me knowing that, I just literally said that the game is literally hard to call,
it's
right?
not going to be nothing like that.
And that's fine, Demo, right? Pakistan, yes, they are the favorites. They have been the favorites based on how they are playing. Listen, Babar Azam is one of my players, right? So I would love if Pakistan win the game. I love in terms of even Shaheen Afridi, how he bowls. Rauf has been excellent. Wazim has been excellent. Rizwan and Malik. How can we leave him out, right? He's literally turned back the clock. As I mentioned on the stream last night in the comment section, he's 41 and he makes Gay look like he's 50, right? Based on how he has been performing in the tournament, right? It's like one man can see and the other man is just blind, right? But for me, the Australian team, right? They depend heavily on their bowling. So for me, the game tomorrow is all about restricting Pakistan. So if Pakistan or if Australia win the toss and send in Pakistan, they're going to try to restrict them, right? However, if that's the reverse, and Australia going to bat, Australia going, as Kem said, Australia need to make 180, 190, right? That is the only way, because if you put pressure on the Pakistan batting unit based on the bowlers that Australia have, you can actually win that game, right? Through that bowling unit with runs on the board, and that scoreboard pressure, right? Plus that semi-final pressure. Plus with the fact that Pakistan, really and truly, they have not had any significant game where you can say, oh, they have been in a rut and they have dug themselves out of it, right? They have yet to really been challenged to the full. So come tomorrow, as I said, very close game. The predictor that you just put up, Levon, 51-49. I am picking Australia to win that game. I actually picked Australia to win. Demo mentioned law of averages. But guess what? The law of averages would dictate that Pakistan ain't going to win the tournament anymore. Right? So it's either they would lose
Hold
to
on a
New
second,
Zealand.
Joe Shakes. Hold on a second, let me find out something.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to give some head-to-head stats and some stats out of the game tomorrow, right? So these two teams have played against each other 23 times in T20 internationals. Australia has won 9, Pakistan has won 13, one at a nose result. In terms of T20 World Cups, they have played against each other 6 times. They have both won 3 apiece. And the top performers, David Warner has an exceptional record against Pakistan. He has scored 348 runs against them in this clash. And also, the last time these two teams met in a World Cup, that was 2016. It was who? I believe it was Australia who won the toss and they elected to bat, and they made 193 for 4, where Steve Smith was the captain at that time. And then Pakistan in return only made 172 for 8, so they lost the contest by 21. So the last time they faced each other in a World Cup, Australia had the better of them.
All right. So I didn't know all of them stats. I honestly didn't, right? And from that you can see that when they play in the World T20, the matches are very close. They have the same number of wins, right? So for a man to tell me that Australia had no chance whatsoever, that's just madness. It's madness because the stats don't say that, right? And you have to use that. You can't just look and say, oh, just because Pakistan steamrolling every team. But hold on, are the same man that get up and say Australia and South Africa never good at the start of the tournament?
Wait, who said because Pakistan has steamroll every team? That was definitely, yeah, obviously now listen to the analysis, so you can carry on.
No. I'm just saying that Pakistan, they have been steamrolling teams, and you are clearly stating that Australia have no chance because at the start of the tournament, you mentioned, and Levon can admit to that you said that South Africa and Australia, them not good at all in T20, and West Indies were going to win the group.
I did say that.
Yes. Yeah.
So what's the point? What that have to do with that game tomorrow? I'm gonna get it. I don't understand.
Because it's obvious that Australia, they are performing. So if a team is performing, how you can say them have zero chance? Tell me.
Pakistan played against Australia already? As in this tournament?
No.
So what do you mean they have been performing? Listen, boss.
But New Zealand never played England in the tournament.
Let me say it again for everybody. Let me say it again. The matchups that the Pakistanis have against the Australians is far superior in both batting and bowling. And I think that this game will be won through Pakistan's dominant bowling lineup and the matchups that they will have against Australia. It's easy. And may I go as far as to say, Levon just mentioned David Warner has been standout perform against whatever, against Pakistan. I'll go as far as saying this. David Warner will not pass 20 runs tomorrow. May I tell you? This total, bringing up those stats from not playing in the UAE, I've nothing. See the comment they come up? Haven't lost the game since 2000. This is Pakistan's home. They know the conditions. I'm mentioning it yesterday and telling us that people, home conditions play a vital part in cricket. Pakistan knows the conditions, they know how to execute, and they bowl extremely well. And with the matchups, especially the left arm ones, it matchups extremely well against Australian batsmen. All right? And so this is why Australia have
anybody can
zero
answer.
chance.
All right, so quick question. Any one of you guys can answer. When teams are banned from going to Pakistan because of whatever happened, wasn't it in UAE they had to play all the international fixtures,
Yes.
the home games?
But I said that yesterday when people are telling me say conditions no
I
matter.
was trying to remember.
That has been Pakistan home for a million years. I said that yesterday. They know this like the back of them hand.
So Shakes, any final say on the game?
Australia, this is my predictor. Australia 55%, Pakistan 45%. It is going to be a close game. As I said, if Australia bat first, I had mentioned that Australia, they need to put on 190 or 180 for me. Those runs will be sufficient in terms of for Hazelwood and Stark and Cummins and Zampa to put pressure on Pakistan. If Australia bat first and they make 190 runs or 180, 85 runs, Babar Azam is my player, right? He is my player. And when I tell you that he will not make more than 10, it is with a heavy heart that if Australia set runs on the board and they go in after, yes, Babar Azam won't make more than 10 runs. And with Babar not making runs, it means that Pakistan will lose the game. Let me give you the other scenario now. So if Pakistan bats first, I put it to you that Babar might make 30 runs at best. 30 runs at best. I can probably tell you from now, Pat Cummins might out him or Josh Hazelwood, right? Come tomorrow, right? And that is my analysis. Is not no guessing, right?
That is guessing. That is not analysis, boss.
All right. No worry yourself, Demo. Pakistan to make 140 runs at best if they bat first, meaning Australia puts them
Right,
into
Shakes,
bat.
stick up in
140.
Shakes. So Shakes, Demo is not a betting man, but you know that I like the betting, you know. So I said that Babar Azam won't make more than 10 runs tomorrow.
I give you the two scenarios. So the first one is Australia batting and putting runs on the board. Scoreboard pressure, Babar won't make more than 10. If Pakistan bats first, he won't make more than 30. Pat Cummins or Josh Hazelwood to get him out tomorrow.
Boss, listen,
right,
people on the stream,
and as I said, 140 for Pakistan.
On need to stop listening to Shakes. We never want to cut him a while ago, but somebody just say it in the comments. The man mentioned 180 and 190. What tournament Shakes I watch? Who scoring? That's probably happened like 2-3 times in the whole tournament. Team scoring 180 on these pitches. We know Afghanistan did make it, and I think the South Africa game that day against England and probably the next one. Like what tournament Shakes I watch? We have big semi-finals now.
Didn't India never did it? Yeah, India did it
2 or 3 times for the whole tournament. I know Shakes are gonna say in a big semi-finals against Pakistan bowling lineup, the man them are gonna make 180, 190. Like you need to stop it. So I'm going to say this, Levan. You as the host, hold me to this. Remember I said that no chance to Australia, right? I don't know who much people are on this right now, but I am going to have a credit to give away tomorrow. After the game, like Pakistan is going to win, but there's going to be a credit to give away tomorrow for somebody who don't know, any random person who just know say they have zero chance against Pakistan. All right? Good. We are going to just pick a random person and just give them credit. That's how happy me I go feel tomorrow for shame them.
I'm just going to wrap up the show on that note.
So let me ask Dima one question, Levon. Let me ask him one question before you wrap up. So if the game is very close, right, and Pakistan scrape through, what are you going to say?
What is scrape through? All right, so let me give you a margin.
Yeah, scrape
right?
through. We all know what scrape through in cricket is.
So a 40-run margin, I wouldn't consider that being close. That's fine with you? So Pakistan winning by 40 runs.
No, hold on. No.
40 runs or more.
You're not understanding my question. I'm saying, remember you say Australia have 0 chance. So you mean that Pakistan will win comfortably. So I'm asking you the other side of the coin now.
That's why if I make me finish, just listen to what I say now. So I'm saying 40 runs or more is not close, right? So anything below that, for me, credit. Yeah?
Hold on, Dimo. I know the credit. It's not the credit I'm asking about, I'm just asking a question. If Pakistan wins the game tomorrow, but it's a scrape through win, what are you going to say?
I mean, what am I going to say? I'm going to say them win the game. Yeah, I'm pick them for win and they won.
Yeah, man, I know. But remember, you have them to win comfortably. You have the other team with 0 chance. But if a team scrape... All right,
and so that's what I'm saying. If the team,
let me give you a scrape through example. West Indies beat Bangladesh, right? Thanks to Andre Russell bowling that over. That was literally a scrape through. Yes. Two associate nations playing.
So that's why I say scrape through credit.
Yes.
That's what I say all along.
All right, so Shakes, what the man had said, no Shakes. Hold on, Shakes. What he's saying that you see if Pakistan win the game, but they only win by say between 30 runs to down lower.
Scrape through.
That close. That's scrape through. But if they win by 40 runs and over, they're not close.
Exactly.
But Levon, in T20 terms, winning by 30 runs is not a straight through victory. Winning by 30 runs in a T20 game.
All right, you know what? Uno set the target, so scrape through and what's not scrape through. May I leave that for you?
But everybody know that scrape through victories in T20 is 10 runs or less.
Shakes, set the parameters for scrape through. So 10 or less.
No, it's not. Hold on.
Shakes, come on.
It's not
Shakes, the man want to give the credit to the people. Why are you sticking out of
Levon, it has nothing to do with the credit. I am just asking a general question. My God, wanna stop talking about the phone card. Me not busy about the phone card.
I am asking
what happens if Pakistan beat Australia like how West Indies barely beat Bangladesh? What are you going to come on and say? That's my question.
But I answered that already. I say I pick them for win and they won.
So that's all you would come on and say?
Yes. They won. I picked them to win and they won.
Thank you.
So now for the people in the comments, Anthony or Michelle, if you want to set the parameters to scrape through, you can do that until Levon and them and fine. But for me, I'm saying 40 runs, if they bowl out the team and win by 40 runs or more, then that's dominance and that's no chance for them. Yeah? In terms of chasing down the victory,
at first and then Pakistan chase.
If them win by 5+ wickets, chasing down the runs, I wouldn't call that scrape through. 5 wickets are comfortable. Yeah? So may I work with that. 15 or less, that too tight, but yeah.
Listen, as I said, 10 runs internationally in a T20 game is a close game. That's the point that I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to debate Demo saying that Pakistan going to win comfortably.
Lever, work with Anthony Henry suggestion. Anything over 20 is a blowout. So under 20.
Correct. And that's the point that I've been trying to get at.
Yeah, but Shakes, me tell you my answer that already. I'll just come here and I said I told you Pakistan would win the game.
All right.
Why else needed to be said?
All right, the man wanted to come here, Demo, and said that Pakistan scraped through and won the game. But we're going to wrap up now. I'm just going to go around the table and give you guys a minute to talk about any topic there is that you want to talk about. I'm going to start with Demo.
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm looking forward to the Reggae Boys game. I really hope that this window will be, promising for us. I really want 6 points, but if we get four, I'm not go cuss and go on bad. But I really want 6 points. I think that, the team that was assembled is a good team. I think that we should be able to do well against El Salvador. I think that without fans behind the goals, we have the advantage. So I think Jamaica should do well. So I'm expecting us to do well against them. And against the USA, it might be tricky, but we'll get there when the times come. So Jamaica, 876 all day. We really need to make it to this World Cup. So continue to like, continue to subscribe, and yeah, watch some World Cup tomorrow and watch how Pakistan dominate Australia.
All right, Shakes, you can go ahead.
Boy, what do I want to talk about? I don't even know what I want to talk about. I just want a good game tomorrow. For that game. You see, like how this game was an exciting game today. It wasn't a one-sided affair. I believe that when it comes down to sport, when you get competitive games, it bodes well, not only for the tournament, but for the advert of the game, right? So come tomorrow, yes, Demo is hoping for one thing. We all know it. That won't happen because number one, it's a semi-final, right? So I just hope for a very competitive game. And I know that it will be a highly competitive game, as that predictor that you brought up, Levon, 51-49. Yes, that's the sort of game that I know will be played come tomorrow.
Okay, sir. And Anthony, we actually touched on the alien issue at the beginning of the show, man. You never tune in early enough. So yeah, we touched on it a bit, man. So you can just start watching over the video when we're finished and you'll actually saw where we touched on it. I even played the clipping of the interview. So just watch it over, man. Thanks to all of you guys who are tuning in and who are still here right now and who were here earlier on. Big up to every one of you. Thanks to our producer Josh calling this possible. Thanks to Kems, thanks to Demo, thanks to Shakes, thanks to Devin for being here. And just want to see some good football. A lot of action tomorrow. Cricket World Cup going on. Football in Europe going on tomorrow. Football in Asia, Africa. I mean, lots of football playing tomorrow. World Cup qualifiers. And then you have the Jamaican qualifier on Friday. So just keep on watching some sports, guys. And come here, just come talk football, basketball, tracks, and whatever with us. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your night. Peace out.